Hey, welcome to the Everyday Immunity Podcast, a place where we talk about different ways to boost the immune system naturally each and every day. I'm your host, Alicia Rosati of Rosati Nutrition. Hey guys, welcome to another episode. This is episode 4. I am so excited to be back for another episode talking to you guys. I've been getting some really good feedback on this new podcast that I started, and I'm super thankful for it. It seems like you guys are really loving it, and I really appreciate that because I am honestly having so much fun creating these episodes for you. So definitely keep your recommendations coming in on things you would like me to talk about. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in a quick little thank you for all of you guys that have been supporting me this far. So without further ado, I just want to hop right into this topic because I know a lot of you have asked me to discuss this since I've been posting it on my Instagram and whatnot. And I know a lot of you guys are considering coming off of the pill, and I 1000% think that you should, unless you really are not trying to have a baby, which there are other methods of not conceiving, and I don't know, the pros don't necessarily outweigh the cons for me in terms of the pill. But enough of me rambling, let's just hop right into it. So the birth control pill, I first was put on the pill, I believe I was in high school. I know that. I don't remember if it was grade 9 or grade 10. I want to say it was around grade 10. And originally I was not keen on the idea. I was like, ooh, a synthetic pill? Do I really want to be taking a pill every single day for the rest of my non-conceiving years? Not really. It's kind of a pain. So I wasn't too keen on the idea, but my periods were terrible. I guess TMI, not really TMI. You know what you signed up for when you click to play this episode. So I don't really feel too bad. But no, my periods were just so heavy and so bad. When I tell you I can't get out of bed, it was bad. I'll leave it at that. It was really bad. So my mom was finally like, okay, I think we should go to the doctor and see what options we have, because my mom had also dealt with a super heavy period. My mom didn't write some of her high school exams because she couldn't go to school because her period was so bad. And unfortunately, genetics has a lot to play in this. And I followed right in suit with my mom and my grandmother in terms of periods. So not so fun. I went to the doctor and she was like, yep, hormonal birth control, that's your only option. That's the best option. Take this and it'll fix your periods for sure. And I was like, seriously? Just one little pill that's going to trick my body into thinking it's pregnant? There has to be another option. So I also consulted with my naturopath intern. And we decided that I should try Vitex. So Vitex is an herbal supplement that is supposed to help with period symptoms and anything to do with women's health. It also helps with fertility, it helps with menopause, helps with PMS symptoms. It has a hand in all of that. But it's not necessarily the best option if you are having period issues and an irregular period, a heavy period. It's not the only option out there. But see, I didn't know that at the time. So I was like, okay, let's try Vitex, give it a shot. And it did help for a little while. My period significantly got lighter. And I thought, okay, this is great. This is awesome. But I don't know if it was my body adjusting to the herbs, or it wasn't strong enough anymore, or it wasn't the right thing in the first place. But my periods started to get back to normal, super heavy again. And I was like, ugh, seriously? So finally I decided, I was like, there's nothing else I can do. I've tried the alternative method and it's not helping. So birth control it is, I guess. So I went back to the doctor and I told her yeah, I need the pill because my periods are just terrible. So she put me on a pill. And I remember those first 3 months were absolute hell. It was terrible. I gained so much bloat weight. I was so moody, so irritable, so like miserable all the time, and my period was still bad. So I'm like, why am I taking this? Like, what is this doing? This is literally just making my life worse. So I went back to the doctor. She's like, okay, clearly this brand doesn't work for you. So let's try one that's higher in progesterone and lower in estrogen. And I don't understand progesterone, estrogen at this time. Like, I don't know anything about hormones. So I'm like, okay, you're the doctor, you're the expert. Like, sure. So tried this new pill and it worked for a while. And I was like, okay, this is great. So was on that. And this was a very, very low dose birth control pill. So she told me this was the lowest dose that was like possible to manufacture, but it's enough, just enough to fix your symptoms. I'm like, okay. And that was the key right there. The pill was going to help my symptoms and not the root cause. Of course, I didn't think of this at the time. My doctor is the expert. She should know best. She's going to fix the problem so that it's no longer a problem, right? Wrong. The pill just masks your symptoms. It doesn't actually fix the root cause. And the root cause, 9 times out of 10, is hormonal imbalance. Long story short, I have been on and off the pill for years. I can't even think back how many years, but it's been a while. And I've been through, I think, like 4 or 5 different brands of birth control. Higher estrogen, lower estrogen, higher progesterone, combination pill, progesterone only. I've been through them all. And at the end of the day, they have all left me with the same issue. And that issue is I had negative side effects, and sure, my periods seemed to start to get more normal, but it didn't fix the root cause of why I had an irregular period in the first place. So the last few months were really a turning point for me in terms of wanting to take the birth control pill for the rest of my non-conceiving years. So the pill that I was on was working for a while, and I had been on it for over a year. And recently, towards the end, I just noticed my periods were starting to get really bad again. My PMS symptoms were absolutely unreal. I was bleeding a lot more, and I was like, honestly, why am I taking this pill? Like, I'm taking the pill to fix my period. I didn't ultimately take the pill to not have a kid. I started taking the pill to fix my period, and now it's not doing that. So what's the point? So I had started to skip the sugar pill week, and my doctor had told me that was perfectly normal, perfectly safe. I looked it up online, and people were saying like it's totally normal to go back to back on your pill. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, is this really safe though? Like, is this really good for my body to just not have a period for like 5 months? I don't think so. So I decided to finally take the sugar pill for the week, and boy, did my period come back with a vengeance. It was absolutely terrible. So I had gone to my new family doctor, and she's a younger doctor, so I felt like I could maybe talk to her, and she would probably understand a little bit better. And that's nothing against my previous family doctor. It's just like she was older. She had actually delivered me. So like she's been around a while. She had and there's nothing wrong with that. She's obviously been around. She knows a thing or two, but I couldn't relate to her as well anymore. I felt, and I wasn't as comfortable anymore. So I switched family doctors, and this new doctor was like, oh my gosh, yeah, no, that defeats the purpose of being on the pill. So let's try you on a new pill where you don't need to take a sugar pill every 3 weeks. You can have 3 months of hormone pill back to back, and then you have the sugar pill for 4 days. So you have a shorter period. I'm like, oh my God, that is absolutely fantastic. Like, of course I'm going to switch to this pill. So I did that. And wow, was that a mistake. I was having nightmares. Like, you would not believe. I would wake up panting and absolutely terrified. And it was so bad that I would wake up clenching and pressing my fists into my bed to the point where my wrists were killing me the next day. I actually had to wear like splints on my wrist because they were so sore from clenching all night from the nightmares. I had also gained a good 5 to 10 pounds in the first couple weeks of being on this pill. You could see it in my face, in my neck. I started to break out as well. And I just overall did not feel like myself anymore. I lacked mental focus, mental clarity. I was always kind of just a little bit upset at nothing in particular. I just was never 100% happy. And I was over it. Honestly, I remember talking to my boyfriend and I'm like, babe, like, I'm over this. I don't want to be taking this pill anymore. I want to have a regular period. I want to know that my hormones are good on their own and my body doesn't need a synthetic pill to have normal symptoms. And he's like, so why are you on it? Like, it is synthetic, it's not natural, and you praise everything being natural, so why are you taking a synthetic birth control pill? I'm like, you know what? Like, don't come at me like that, first of all. But he was right. It's so true. I promote such a healthy, holistic, natural way of living, and I was taking a synthetic birth control pill every single day of my life. And that was kind of hypocritical of me. So I put myself in check and was like, you know what? I am making the conscious decision to stop taking the pill. So I prepped my body for it. Now, the birth control pill, for those of you who don't know, I kind of mentioned this in my Instagram video, but the birth control pill actually depletes your body of nutrients. It does this by, one, binding to certain nutrients that you ingest each and every day, but two, it also disrupts your microbiome and makes it harder for your body to actually absorb these nutrients. So you can be eating a healthy plant-based diet each and every day, full of plants and vitamins and minerals, and your body is only absorbing a marginal fraction of that because your gut microbiome has been so damaged by taking the pill every single day. And that's what was happening to me. And that's probably why I felt that mental fogginess and just not 100% like myself. Actually, in the Journal of Reproductive Medicine, there was a study published back in 1984 that proved that birth control has been shown to reduce the psychological effects of riboflavin, which is vitamin B2, vitamin B6, folic acid, B12, ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, and zinc. So that's back in 1984. Like, have we not realized this by now? Why is this not talked about? That was a big thing for me. Like, why did my doctor not tell me about these side effects, and why do more women not know about this? There are so many things wrong with the pill, and I just feel like we are not made aware, and that's not right. I feel like we should be 100% informed before we are given something to be taking every single day. Something else that I found that was extremely alarming, in my opinion, was the increased risk of heart attack, stroke, or blood clot by simply taking the pill every single day. For me, I don't know, I'm not that much of a risky person, so anytime that there's a risk of something bad happening to me because I'm taking a pill that's not natural, that just doesn't seem right or normal to me. The pros don't really outweigh the cons at this point. Actually, if you read the insert from your birth control pill, it even tells you that there is a slightly increased risk of having a heart attack, stroke, or blood clot. Now, we live very stressful lives, and that also increases our risk. So if you have a stressful life, which hopefully you're managing, and now you're taking the birth control pill on top of that, you're just adding increased risk to having something bad happen to you. For me, that doesn't sound like a trade-off that I was willing to bet on. And I was actually reading the general insert from the FDA that's super general for any brand of birth control that you're on. And they specifically state that some women have an increased risk of developing certain serious diseases that can be fatal or cause temporary or permanent disability. This includes blood clots, high blood pressure, which can lead to stroke or heart attack, and I'm quoting this, benign but dangerous liver tumors, which can rupture and cause internal bleeding. I'm sorry, what? So this is general for any birth control pill. And I actually, thinking back, remember my doctor telling me that this was a potential risk, that there's like only a 1% chance it's going to happen. Yeah, but what if I'm that 1%? Like, given my extensive medical history, when something that could go wrong did go wrong with me, I could have been that 1%. And I wouldn't have known until it was too late. And once I realized that, I was like, I'm not willing to bet my life like this. So it's no longer worth it for me. I definitely want off this pill, like, now. But it also made me think, like, how often do we as a society just trust someone else? And now I'm not trying to discredit all the doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals out there. I'm not trying to do that. But I simply want to get the point across that we should still be more informed about our own health. You should never put all of your faith or trust in someone else when it comes to your well-being. That's my honest opinion. If you are going to be taking something for the rest of your life, at least read the insert that they send you. Like every time you get a pill, the pharmacist gives you an insert that tells you about the pill, the possible side effects, and all that stuff. So read it. Like I know for me, anytime I was on an antibiotic, I would just take it. Anytime I was given a new brand of birth control, I would just take it and never really 100% read the insert, which was 1,000% wrong on my part. But I want to encourage you guys to maybe pull out that insert that you got from your birth control pill however long ago. If you don't have it anymore, why don't you go and look it up online? Look and see what side effects have been associated with the birth control that you are on and think, is this the right idea for me? Is this the right course of action? Am I taking the birth control pill because I don't want a child? Or am I taking the birth control pill because I'm trying to fix a hormonal imbalance, which the pill does not do? The way the pill works is you're taking a synthetic form of a hormone. And now those synthetic hormones are interacting with your brain for your brain to think that it's pregnant so you don't ovulate. That's the whole point. You're not having a child. The whole point of birth control is to trick your body into thinking you're pregnant so you cannot get pregnant because you're like already pregnant in your brain's mind. But the point of the birth control pill is not to fix a hormonal imbalance because it doesn't do that. So that got me thinking, why am I taking a synthetic hormone pill to fix my irregular period symptoms if it's not actually fixing my hormonal imbalance? It's just masking the symptoms, right? That was another reason I decided, like, I'm definitely coming off this thing ASAP. The way to truly fix your hormonal imbalance is to work with someone closely and either do like actual hormone therapy or alternative therapies with herbs and stress reducing activities, things like that. Like that actually will help you. And I have learned that because I have seen such a difference in the short time that I have been off the pill. So I think I've been off the pill for, about 6 weeks now. And honestly, like, it's been a night and day transformation. I no longer have the crazy nightmares. I feel a lot more like myself. I can focus a lot better during the day. I'm a lot happier. And within the first week or two, I lost quite a bit of weight and I noticed that I'm still slimming down. I haven't really changed my diet all that much. I'm still pretty like conscious of what I'm eating, and I do still eat a cookie here and there during the day. It's not like I'm 100% clean, like no, fruits and vegetables only. Like I still eat my carbs, I still have a cookie here and there, I'll still have my vegan ice cream. I'm not depriving myself in any way, shape, or form, but there are a couple things that I have done differently. You guys may have seen again on my Instagram that I have been drinking moringa tea most mornings throughout the week, and that I notice has really helped me get my energy back and just feeling like myself again. So for those of you who don't know, moringa it has been used in ancient medicines for years, like hundreds of years. And it's also called the miracle tree or the tree of life in some cultures. And that's because of its potent medicinal properties. Moringa is absolutely jam-packed with nutrition. I'm talking iron, calcium, vitamin, any of the B vitamins, vitamin C. It's just magnesium. It's all jam-packed in there. So what I do, I try to have it like every other morning. It's just a pain in the butt, in my opinion, because I have to like, the way my teapot is set up, it's just a pain to clean it out after. And I don't want to do that because the moringa leaves I get are not in a tea bag. You can definitely find it in a tea bag, but I just have like the dried leaves, and I mix that in my little teapot with like my steeper thing with a lemon balm tea, just so that it tastes a little better. So I have a lemon balm tea with dried moringa leaves, and I pour my hot water through that with a little bit of stevia, and I have it every not every morning, almost every morning. I wish it was every morning, but I have it as often as possible. And right away, first thing in the morning, I am loading my body with so much nutrition. So that definitely helped. And I definitely recommend you guys start drinking moringa tea, and you will notice a boost in your energy. You won't get sick as often, and you just feel a lot more alive, in my opinion. I was still taking my greens as well, so there's even more nutrition jam-packed in there. And I was adding maca root powder to my greens. Now, if you guys remember, I started taking maca root powder, I believe it was just before Christmas. I put it on Instagram that I was going to start taking it and show you guys like how it was affecting me if I noticed any change. While I was still on the birth control pill while starting with maca powder, I didn't really notice much different. I did notice I had a little more energy, if anything, but nothing crazy that was like super significant. But I still continued to take it, especially because I knew I was going to be coming off the pill in a couple months. Now I add, I think before I was taking like half a teaspoon of maca powder, and now I add about a full teaspoon into my greens. It does taste a little funky, in my opinion. It almost tastes like burnt caramel or burnt toffee kinda. It's a really, really weird way to describe. Like you would just have to smell it or taste it. I definitely don't recommend putting it in a coffee or in a tea because you will just taste the maca and it's disgusting. I hide mine in my greens quite well. You really, really don't notice it that much. So I've been taking a teaspoon of maca powder every day. And I've also been using my Balance essential oil roll-on from Plant Therapy. That stuff is like next level. Oh my gosh, I noticed the most difference with that. Like I would roll it on and within an hour I just have this boost of energy and I feel so good and so alive. It's just, I love that stuff so much. Oh my gosh, I could go on forever about it. Really, that's all I've been doing. I just stopped taking the pill. I've been eating properly, been loading my body with nutrition because on top of the moringa and the greens, I do eat a lot of fruits and veggies throughout the day. So just absolutely loading my body with nutrition to kind of like repair those nutrient stores that my body had been depleted of from the pill. So that's all I've been doing. And now I've had 2 periods since I've been off the pill. The first one was like when I immediately stopped, and I didn't really expect much change with that one because it would be just as if I was off the pill for the sugar pill week and then going right back on it. So that one I wasn't too worried about. It was a full 5 or 6 day period, pretty moderate bleeding, not kind of cramping, but wasn't too bad. But yeah, I still remember like the second day, I really didn't want to get out of bed, couldn't do much, and that was typical for me. The first day, I was really moody. The second and third day, like, do not talk to me. I'm not getting out of this bed. I physically cannot get out of this bed, and that was my standard every month. I know day 2 and day 3, I'm not getting out of bed. So I recently just got off my period again, and now this was after being off the pill for a full month. And girl, let me tell you, I had a period for 3.5 days. And day 2, I was walking around shopping, grocery shopping, for about a few hours. And I felt so good. Never once was I like, oh my God, I need to get back in bed. And my PMS symptoms were not that bad. Like I was still craving chocolate and eating a little too much Nutella out of the jar. No shame here. But yeah, and I overall, I felt really, really good. I wasn't overly moody. My mom even said like, yeah, you're not as bitchy as you usually are. So that was good to know. But I felt really good. And I remember I wasn't changing like my pads or my tampons as often. And yeah, the third day I woke up and I noticed like my bleeding was significantly lighter. And halfway through the day, it had stopped, like completely. I'm like, what is happening? Is this normal? Is this okay? Like I was kind of getting scared because it was so far from my normal. And yeah, the rest of the day, no more bleeding. Day 4, no bleeding. And I'm like, this is the first time in my life I have had a period this short and this light. And I feel absolutely fantastic. And I did it all by myself. I did it with natural herbs, I did it with nutrition, and no synthetic hormone pill. So I was damn proud of myself, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm super proud that I did that all on my own and I fixed the symptoms. Now, whether or not I fixed the root cause fully, probably not, because natural health does take a while for your body to get back in balance. So I'm not expecting like a quick fix overnight, definitely. But 1,000% I agree that I am on the right track to balancing my hormones. I feel so much better. I've lost so much weight. Like I think I'm the thinnest I've ever been for not working out. The leanest I've ever been was first year university when I was training for the military, and I was fit, I was lean, and I was proud of myself. And now I don't work out. Like I really don't work out. It's bad to say, but all I do is I stretch, like a yoga style stretch for maybe 15-20 minutes like every other morning, and I go for a walk here and there for like 45 minutes to an hour, maybe about 3 times a week. And this is the thinnest I've been with the least amount of exercise. So I'm really, really happy. My hormones just seem to kind of be balancing out. My body seems to be doing its own thing naturally. And honestly, I feel so much better just knowing that I don't have to take a pill every single day at 9 o'clock at night. Like, it's such a freeing feeling. So I definitely want you guys to think about some of the stuff that I've talked about in this episode. Read your birth control pill insert. Trust me, it'll open your eyes up to a lot. If you were thinking about coming off the birth control pill, definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. I tried to cover as much as possible in this episode, but I know everybody's different. So if you have any specific questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me and discuss it with me. That's what I'm here for. I love sharing what I know with you guys. So yeah, it's been a pleasure talking about my womanhood with all of you guys. But thank you so much again for being here, for listening to this podcast, for supporting me through all of this. I appreciate each and every one of you. But until the next episode, this has been Alicia Rosati of Rosati Nutrition, and I'll catch you in the next one.